Hello, everyone. This is Aaron St. Dennis, the FF Mad Scientist, and welcome back to the Mad Science Lab podcast. Today, we continue the My Tiers series, and here to break down some running backs, we have Crazy Kirt. Kirt, thank you for joining me.
Yeah, not a problem. Thanks for having me.
All right, you want to take a quick second before we start off? Tell everyone where they can find your work and what you do.
Yeah, so I work for League Winners and also Dynasty Factory, mainly Dynasty work I work on and redraft. I redraft stuff I work on. Pretty decent or a pretty interesting perspective I have is definitely not one of those cookie cutter perspectives that you usually see on Twitter. But you guys, I'm more active on Twitter, and my my handle is Crazy Kirt, just exactly how it's spelled, crazy and then Kirt. Uh, but yeah, that's pretty much it. Those are the two companies I work for right now.
Good, I like it, a contrarian. So we'll get right into it then. See if you're way off the ECR and got your own custom rankings here. We will start with Cam Akers.
Oh, okay, Cam Akers. Where I'm looking at is I have him ranked 30th overall, and he's in my 1, 2, 3, 4, fifth tier. He's in my fifth tier right now, and mainly that fifth tier is a tier. It's a combination of a what I perceive is going to be either a full uh, uh, half and
Committee?
half committee, and or they are the starter and probably get the majority of the shares, but is not as talented, or the offensive line is not as talented for them to succeed and go up a higher tier.
Yeah, I would say he's the number one in LA, but team and the O line kind of suck, so below average fits.
And then on top of that, watching the film on Zach Evans out of where did he come from?
Ole
Ole
Miss.
Miss. Yeah,
Yeah.
that came out Ole Miss. I don't see that much difference. As a matter of fact, in regards to the specific zone scheme that they run, it's more about how fast you get to the line of scrimmage. And I think Zach Evans gets there a lot quicker than Cam Akers does when it comes to hitting that seeing hole getting through the hole. So I wouldn't be surprised that Zach Evans later in the season, either week 10 or so, is getting 51% of the snaps just because he does hit that hole faster.
Moving on to the more exciting Saquon Barkley.
Saquon Barkley he's in tier 2. When we get to the interesting name, but yeah, he's in my tier 2 right now, and mainly because of they didn't really address the struggles that they have at offensive line, and also I'm not a real fan of Daniel Jones, so that it all encompasses the issues around him, and that they're going to be limited a little bit. You can expect some regression from Daniel Jones, which equates to less opportunities, less possessions each game. So like each team averaged about 12 possessions a game. You can see that this team probably getting 11 to 10 possessions a game, just because of I'm expecting a regression from Daniel Jones in the entire offense. But he's in my tier 2 right now.
Brian Robinson.
Brian Robinson, I actually have him in the same tier as Antonio Gibson, and he's same tier as Cam Akers, so he's still in tier 5.
Where
Excuse me.
is AG on here? I know Gibson's on here somewhere, I think. Where the hell is he? Oh, maybe I had this yesterday. Gibson's not on it. He missed the cut. I
Gotcha.
did their top 36 by ADP, and I think Gibson was 38 and just missed out. But anyways.
Yeah, so those two players are really hard to rank, but I'm banking on the KOP, the Keen Observer Posse thing that I like to talk about is just trying to evaluate the human being. And the person that matters the most when it comes to the production of Antonio Gibson and Brian Robinson is is the offensive coordinator Eric Bieniemy. Uh, Now has full control over an offense, and I could see him showing a little bit more urgency uh, in regards to his play calling and wanting to show owners, general managers that he can be a head coach just now because he has the full workload of the offense and calling plays. So I'm actually expecting Antonio Gibson to get more of the look just because he is more explosive and he can be a player that hides some of the deficiencies of an offensive coordinator or offensive line compared to Brian Robinson Jr.
Moving on to Nick Chubb.
Oh, Nick Chubb, he's also in tier 2. Matter of fact, he is my my third overall running back, but he's in my second tier. And it's the same. It's the same concept. But you got the offensive coordinator, which is also the head coach, and Kevin Stefanski. He struggled with Deshaun Watson last year. They're in bed with Deshaun Watson, so he has to make this work. If it doesn't work this year, he might be looking for a job somewhere else. So I'm banking on them. Going to be leaning on Nick Chubb because Kareem Hunt is gone now. There isn't an obligation to use a second running back, even though they have Jerome Ford out of Cincinnati, where they drafted him, I believe, in the 5th round last year. But this is a contract year for Nick Chubb. It's essentially as a contract year for Kevin Stefanski. So I'm expecting Nick Chubb. We all know is probably will be perceived as the most efficient running back in the NFL. He's been sharing a load with Kareem Hunt. I don't see that happening this year. So I have him ranked 3rd overall as my RB3.
James Conner's next.
James Conner, and he's in my tier 4 at the end. My 27th ranked running back overall, and he has the necessary workload that you want. I just don't think he's that skillful. And then also on top of the Cardinals, it's just a bad organization. It's a bad roster. You have Kyler Murray that is rumored to be coming back later in the season.
It's going to be rough.
Exactly. He has the workload that you want, but he's not particularly skillful, in my opinion. And also the people around, in regards to blocking and the new system. I'm not a real fan of the new head coach who was the DC for the Eagles. And I thought the defense was really bad for the Eagles. So I don't see anything really going positive for the Cardinals this year.
Sorry, I got a little interruption there from an 8-year-old.
Oh, that's okay. Yeah,
Dalvin Cook is up next.
So he's a hard one to rank because, as we all know, that he's rumored to be released or traded to a different team. We've been hearing teams like the Jets, the Dolphins, or the Broncos. So it's really hard to rank him. So I just kept him in the same tier as James Conner, tier 4. I didn't really name the tiers, but I have him in tier 4, ranked 24th overall, because all the rumors that we hear it sounds like he'll be in a committee. If he goes to the Broncos, he's with Javonte Williams. If he goes to the Dolphins, now he's with the Devon A-Chain and Jeff Wilson and Raheem Mostert, and you got the Jets, and he's going to be working with Breece Hall. So it's kind of really tough to really rank him right now. But I just kept him in tier 4 just because of he is a talented individual.
Yeah, too much uncertainty. AJ Dillon.
AJ Dillon is in a tier with Cam Akers and Antonio Gibson.
Yeah, he seems to slide down one tier every year, it looks like.
Exactly. So it's almost the same concept that I have with Nick Chubb. I can see the Packers leaning on Aaron Jones a little bit more just because he is more explosive in the passing game and in the running game. And they're trying to make things a little bit more easier for Jordan Love, trying to get some of those gimme points or gimme yards. AJ Dillon can make the tough yards, but he's not as explosive as Aaron Jones. So I put him down a tier this year just because of that reason. And also, you have the Jordan Love effect. He's obviously not as good as Aaron Rodgers, so we can expect the less possessions a game with Jordan Love as the quarterback.
Someone I'm higher on, J.K. Dobbins.
Oh, J.K. Dobbins. I hear a lot of positive things for J.K. Dobbins, and he's also obviously been a good player ever since whenever he's healthy. And but this is this is more of a philosophical approach issue that I have with J.K. Dobbins, not with him specifically, but I have him in tier four, I believe. One, two, three, four.
With Connor and Cook.
I only have one person in tier one, by the way.
Oh, that's all
So
right.
it's yeah. So
No worries.
it's basically tier three, how you want to look at it. But I have him as tier four, uh, but he should be a lot higher. But the Ravens have shown throughout their time with John Harbaugh,
Yeah.
that he likes to go to the committee, and they've always wanted to use three running backs instead. Justice Hill out of Oklahoma, Oklahoma State is not good, you know what I mean? So, but they finally found someone, in my opinion, that out of Eastern Carolina University, Keaton Mitchell,
Yep, he's good.
undrafted free agent that they picked up, and he's he's going to be the player that the Ravens always wanted in Justice Hill. So he's a speedster guy. He runs in under the 4.40. So we can expect a lot, essentially a three-headed monster and a competent one with Gus Edwards coming back healthy, just like J.K. Dobbins. So this is more about opportunity. And with the opportunity that he gets, he's going to excel at, but he should be getting a little bit more. I would love to put him in tier three, but it's just hard just expecting him to have a three-headed monster over there.
Next up, Austin Eckler.
Austin Eckler. Austin Eckler, he's an interesting one for me. I have him ranked seventh overall. He's still in tier two, but I can see myself not having a chance to draft him because I do have him lower a little bit more compared to the general mass. One aspect of the biggest aspect of Austin Eckler is his passing game. Last year he had 127 targets, but now he has a new offensive coordinator in Kellen Moore, and I did the calculation with the two running backs he coached last year. He played calls for Tony Pollard and Ezekiel Elliott, and those two combined only had 88 targets. So I can see the new OC not scheming for the running back as much. He loves to go downfield a lot more than Joe Lombardi, the last OC. So less targets, and then you got Quentin Johnson there, who drafted in the first round. Obviously, Keelan Allen, and we always who's been getting under the radar is Gerald Everett. We saw what Kellen Moore did with Dalton Schultz. Uh, Now he has Gerald Everett, a much more talented player at his disposal. So I can see him being featured a little bit more. And then obviously we have Mike Williams, just one of the best contested catch wide receivers in the NFL. So I do have him lower. I don't think in redraft leagues and best ball, I probably won't be drafting Austin Eckler just because a lot of people have him second or third running back overall. But I still have him in tier two.
Travis Etienne.
Travis Etienne. I have him ranked 17th overall, but he's my tier four. Tier four.
Fair enough. Yeah, I think Tank Bigsby's a bigger threat than everyone thinks, but I don't know. I think tier 3 or 4 is probably where he belongs. I'm not high or low on him.
No, I think we're on the same page, and it's the same thing with J.K. Dobbins. But I think Travis, when his opportunity presents itself, he's going to play. He's going to perform well. But Tank Bigsby, they also signed Ernest Johnson. They still have Jermichael Hasty. I saw a recent stat on Twitter where Hasty had more snaps than ETN in their last playoff game against the Chiefs. So there is the coaching staff has some issue with ETN. I don't know exactly what it is, but they definitely are not. They don't fully trust ETN in every situation, and it showed in their offseason moves, free agency, and also in the draft. So it's just the same thing with the J.K. Dobbins.
All righty. Jahmyr Gibbs.
Jahmyr Gibbs. So I really want to move him to tier two. I really do, but I have him ranked 15th overall, but he's in my tier three. And the only hesitation is obviously what they did with Jamal Williams. Now they let him go, and they signed David Montgomery, a little bit better back, who probably was going to be a little bit more productive in goal line situations, short yardage situations. But Jahmyr Gibbs, for me, is probably twice as better than DeAndre Swift when it comes to being in the passing game. And just so dang explosive. He's going to give them so many easy possessions. Were possessions where they probably shouldn't have scored, but hey, he got a 40-yard touchdown just because of his tremendous acceleration. I think he has the best acceleration in the NFL when it comes to running backs. It's just insane. So I just his skill set alone, I wanted to put him in tier 2, but I left him in tier 3. Only have 4 running backs counting him. That's in tier 3.
You said you only had one in elite. Who's that?
CMC? Okay. Actually, it's not. It's BJ.
Bijan Robinson.
Bijan Robinson. Thank you.
That's no. We're gonna run really long, so I got to cut a few corners here. So I just moved Bijan up just to make sure we stay under the time limit. So
gotcha. Yeah, Bijan. So he has a combination of youth, generational talent, and then he also has a running back. He has a offensive coordinator that loves to run. Which is also the head coach, Arthur Smith. He loves to run. He had 2,000 yards with Derrick Henry as his running back in Tennessee when he was calling plays. It's just a great combination. They don't have me personally. They have only one other great talent in Kyle Pitts, and he has a hard time staying healthy. After that, it's just BJ Robinson. It's easy call for me that he's the number one, and it's clearly no one else above him.
Breece Hall,
he should be in tier 2, but the only thing that's keeping him from being tier 2 is the injury. A lot of Twitter doctors out there, and they have good resources out there that talk about how long it takes for people to fully recover from ACL. They don't expect him to be 100% until late in the season, and so basically, next year I would have him in a tier 2 or maybe tier 1, depending on how well he performs late in the season.
Najee Harris
is another person. Is one person I'm really down on this year. I have him in the tier with James Conner and Dalvin Cook. I should have him lower, just because when the opportunity presents itself, his backup running back Jaylen Warren has outperformed him in every advanced analytic you talk about: yards after contact, just average PFF grade, every metric that you want to look. Jaylen Warren has outperformed him, and the only reason why Najee Harris is ranked this high is just because he was drafted in the first round. If he was an undrafted free agent just like Jaylen, I would have Jaylen ranked higher than him, because they would have given Jaylen Warren a lot more opportunity.
Sorry, counting how many guys we got left. We got 12 minutes to do 22 guys. So,
all right, sorry.
It's all good. Derrick Henry,
I have him lower this year. I put him in the same rank as Travis Etienne.
Where is Etienne? Oh, right there. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, the age and injury history scares me, but average is fair. Next up, Jesus, what? No, that's not Najee, is it? Breece Hall, Najee here. I think it's Khalil Herbert. Yeah, it's Khalil Herbert. I don't know why I have them out of order for some reason, but Khalil Herbert.
Khalil Herbert is way outside of my tiers. He's not even on my out of those tiers. He's not on there. I think he's going to be. I think he's going to be the third running back out of a 3-man committee. I find Rashad Johnson and also Deontay Foreman. Deontay Foreman better than him as running back. So I don't even have him ranked according to those.
That it is. Josh Jacobs.
Josh Jacobs is my second running back, so he's in tier 2.
Oh wow, that's a spicy one.
Number 2, yeah, he's my second overall running back.
Nice, I like it. Jamal Williams.
Jamal Williams is with Derrick Henry. Oh no, I'm sorry, that's just Javonte Williams. I was like, that didn't make any sense. Where did he go?
Javonte's with Derrick Henry. Okay, where's Jamal?
He's outside of the tier as well.
Okay, so I can just put him down here with Khalil Herbert.
Correct. Yep.
Yeah, touchdown regression. That's probably where he finishes. So
right.
I can't argue that. James Cook.
I want to like Cook, but Cook is he equates to. I have him with Dalvin Cook, the same tier as Dalvin Cook and Najee Harris and James Conner. If he was more
Oh,
elusive, I would have ranked him a little bit higher.
yeah. Josh Allen vultures all his goal line carries anyways. So
Yes, sir.
Aaron Jones.
Aaron Jones is in tier 3.
Ooh, nice. I like it. A lot of people are lower on him because of the age, but I like it. Alvin Kamara.
Alvin Kamara is with Dalvin Cook. It's the same concept. Is he going to be suspended this year?
Yeah.
I have no clue.
Yeah, exactly. It's if he's not suspended, he probably moves up at least a tier, but who the hell
Exactly.
knows? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Alexander Madison looking like he will be the number 1 in Minnesota, but who the heck knows?
Yeah, I'm excited for him finally getting his opportunity, but he's in the same tier as Alvin Kamara and Dalvin Cook.
Yeah, that tier is pretty big.
It is. It is.
A lot of where it's where a lot of them fall. Here's one who won't be in that tier, CMC.
Yeah. CMC should be with Bijan Robinson, but he's tier 2. And just because of the number splits when he's with Elijah Mitchell, when Elijah Mitchell's on the field, they definitely do a concerted. They put in more effort to make sure they keep him fresh.
Yeah, it's probably in their best interest. Joe Mixon.
Joe Mixon is my tier 2. He's the last person in my tier 2.
Oh, nice. Everybody else is tier 3 or later. David Montgomery.
Not much high on him, in my opinion, maybe. I have him with A.J. Dillon in the same tier as A.J. Dillon.
Oh, yeah. I was never been a big David Montgomery fan. He's not all that efficient. So,
yeah.
Isaiah Pacheco.
Isaiah's in the same boat as David Montgomery.
Yeah, that backfield's a total mess. So, who the hell knows how it's going to play out? Samaje Perine.
Where I put my man. He's a little bit tough because when his name gets back.
I'm assuming Javonte misses significant time, so that's the only reason I even have him on here.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, he's with Brian Robinson, David Montgomery, Isaiah Pacheco. He's in that same tier.
That's probably fair. And if Javonte's healthy, he's probably right off the board. Dameon Pierce.
Oh, I think I finally moved him up tier 2. Oh, yeah, I did. He's my tier 2.
Oh, you do have one more in tier 2. Fair enough.
Yeah,
Tony Pollard.
Tony Pollard, tier 2 as well. He's in my tier 2.
Nice. Miles Sanders.
Yeah, he was a tough one for me as well.
I like him better this year than I did in Philly, but I seem to be the only one.
Yeah, he doesn't have that much competition, but when I watch him run, it's a frustrating thing because I think he leaves a lot of yards on the field. So, but I still put him with the same tier as J.K. Dobbins, Derrick Henry, and Travis Etienne.
I think that offense is going to suck too, but Derrick Henry, where the hell is that? Am I
The
up?
yellow one, the yellow.
Oh, I didn't see Derrick Henry. He's all the way at the end. That's who I was looking at. Ramondre Stevenson.
Yeah, tier 3. He's my tier 3.
Nice. DeAndre Swift.
He's with AJ Dillon. And
Yeah, I don't know what to make of him. Ultra talented, but he never stays on the field. So
exactly right.
Who the hell knows?
Yeah, good. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
No, I was just kidding. Either coaches are irritated with him or he's not healthy.
Yeah, pretty much. Spends a lot of time in the doghouse in the IR. Jonathan Taylor.
Tier 2.
It's what I figured. Say Ken Walker next. Where's he fall?
Tier 4.
Ooh, tier 4. So you think Charbonnet's a bigger impact than I do, I guess.
It's actually not. I think it's more Kenny McIntosh. Out of the 3, I think he's the best. He's the best running back in the passing game. Better pass blocker. So I could see them loving Kenny McIntosh a lot more, or not loving, but trusting him a lot more in key situations, especially on third down, 2-minute drill, things of that nature.
That was not the answer I thought I was going to get. Kenny McIntosh. I thought Kenny McIntosh was the best pass catcher of all the rookies, but I forgot he was even on the team.
Yeah.
To end it, we got Rachaad White.
All right, so I have him in tier 2.
Tier 2. So it's Bijan and then a whole bunch of, I find the great tier here, the purple tier, is probably where you're going to want to be getting your RB1s. And then after this, we've got kind of a giant cluster of guys all in a similar range here. So it's definitely going to be an interesting year to try and differentiate the running back group. Before we wrap up here, do you want to take another chance to tell everyone where they can find your work?
Yes, so you can get my work over in Dynasty Factory, or you see my work in League Winners, and also you can follow me on Twitter. I post from time to time, but most of my posts is just in regards to my the writing article, the articles that I write, and then I'm hopefully here soon I could be starting a podcast, and you'll see that on Twitter as well.
Oh, you should check out the League Winners message board then, or in the group chat on Twitter. Not sure if you signed up. They're looking for people for, I don't know what the series they're doing. 32 different teams. They wanted someone covering each team. I don't think we have the staff for it, but.
Yeah, I signed up for the Broncos.
Oh, did you? Yeah. I said we can barely get 5 guys to write, let alone 32 people to podcast. So my opinion was ignored, and we're moving forward with it anyways. So I guess we'll find out. All right. This has been my tiers on the running backs with Crazy Kirt. Once again, this is Aaron St. Dennis, the FF Mad Scientist, and this has been the Mad Science Lab podcast. Thanks again to Kirt for joining me. Thank you, everyone, for watching. Have a good night.